Hello everyone, I am Charmaine Brown and I am blessed to be here with you today in the studio. Impact Gospel Radio, the show is Mental Health, a Holistic Impact, where we talk about anything that affects your mental health, whether it's be relationship, objects, or situation, anything at all. From a psychotherapist point of view, I am licensed and certified to do this, and so I come to you just talking where we look at the negative impact and the positive impact of whatever happening to your mental health and how we can navigate through this. I come to you from a experience point of view, from a storyline, and also from research-based information that will help you. We are here every Monday evening at 6:30 Central Daytime. Well, it should change to Central something time, because daytime is gone, people. Outside is dark by 4 o'clock. And 7:30 Eastern Daytime every Monday. We're on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, LinkedIn, Tumblr, Twitter, and just find us, www.mentalhealthhorizon.com. Like us, share us, follow us, and you can send us your content to info@mentalhealthhorizon.com. Let's get started. You know what? I'm going to look at a topic that most of us are not going to like. Most of us going to blame me, but you know what? I have to get it out there. And the topic is being in a relationship with ourselves. Yeah. Some of us are going to say, "Oh, do that work? I'm not a narcissistic person. How can I be in a relationship with myself?" Yes, you can be in a relationship with yourself, and you should. So, you know what? When I take it from this standpoint, people might ask, what's a relationship? Because if I said, be in a relationship with yourself, they're asking, oh, maybe I'm confused in what is a relationship. So it's any object or concept or people, more than one, that connects something. It connects, make a connection. So it's two or more objects, people, concepts that makes a connection. That's what a relationship is. Simply. My dog is under here at my feet. Oh, this dog loves me. Anyways, let's continue. There are certain questions that we ask in every situation. There's mostly 5 questions that always come about that we need to get to know. When there's something that happened, we need to ask ourselves this question to get an idea of what's going on, and if our answers are being what we are looking for. If whatever, when you ask these questions, if you are getting the answers that you're looking for. And so now I'm going to ask, what does it mean to be in a relationship with yourself? What does it mean? What does this look like? So when I ask this question, people might answer what it brings to you, but not why, not what it is. They're going to answer what they get out of being in a relationship with themselves, instead of what it is when you're in a relationship. What does that look like? Anyone? No? Well, you can always send it in the comment box what it looks like for you. So the dog is tickling my feet. Being in a relationship with yourself, what is it? What does it do? It helps you to form a connection with yourself. You get into that connection where you know who you are. Knowing your name is not enough. Knowing where you were born is not enough. Knowing your mother's name is not enough for those who know their mother's name, because some persons were adopted and some persons don't know their mother's name, and that's a fact. That's a fact of life, and so we have to look into that too. Knowing your parents' names, or whoever take care of you, your guardian name, is not enough. Knowing your name is not enough. Knowing your skin type is not enough, because you can actually see your skin color. Knowing your color of your skin is not enough. Knowing the color of your eyes is not enough. These things are not enough. It's on a deeper level. The connection should be built on a deeper level. And most people cannot get to this place because of what is there. What happened, what came out of what happened. And what I mean by what happened, the trauma. Some people have gone through a lot of traumatic events. Some people have done a lot of things. They cause the trauma. Some people were traumatized, as well as some people cause trauma to other people. And so looking at that might be scary. Knowing how to face certain things might be scary. But to be in a connection with yourself, you must and have to form a deeper connection with who you are. Apart from your name, your skin color, your eye color, your mother's name, where you were born. Apart from that, it's more deeper. It's looking into yourself and analyzing what is inside and what makes you cringe. I shouldn't use that word. That word sounds cringy. What makes you sad? What makes you happy? What makes you cry? What makes you laugh? What makes you be disgusted? Those things. What you are disgusted with, who you like to be with, who you don't like to be with, why, and why you don't like to be with these people. You know what? There are people who don't like certain things, but don't know why they don't like it. For me, I don't like coffee. I don't drink coffee. For my spouse drinks coffee in the morning, every morning. Can't do without it. For me, I don't like coffee and I don't drink coffee. I know why I don't like coffee. I love the smell of coffee for sure. I don't like coffee because I tried it. I do a research on myself with the coffee and it affects me, where I can pinpoint exactly when I drink coffee what happened. And so I don't drink coffee because I don't like that effect. Some people don't like something, but they don't know why. Some people don't like people, but they don't know why. Some people do not like animals, but they don't know why. Because they don't go back in their mental capacity or their mind. They don't reflect on what might have happened for them not to like certain things. We are going to take a break, and when we come back, we continue with being in a relationship with ourselves. Let's take a break. Welcome back, everyone. I am Charmaine Brown, and I am blessed to be here with you. Impact Gospel Radio, Mental Health, a holistic impact, where we talk about anything that affects your mental health. We want you to be in adequate mental health, where you can function at your best, where your potential is there and you're functioning well. That's my goal. That's this show goal. Mental health, a holistic impact. We want you to be whole. Whatever affects you, we look at it. This is where I, as a licensed certified psychotherapist, come to you and talk. We were talking about relationship with yourself, and we're afraid to see what is there. So when we self-examine, for instance, why I don't like dogs. I like dogs, but if I was someone who didn't like dog, I would have to examine and go back in time, go back. Maybe we have repressed some memory, but I would have to go back to see why I don't like dog. Maybe nothing happened. You just realize that you just don't like dog. You don't like the smell of dog. You don't like to feed them. You don't like when they bark. You don't like to shave them. You don't like to brush their teeth. You don't like to wipe their eyes. You don't like to rub them down. There are things there that's why you don't like them. You'd have to look into yourself and ask, why am I running from myself? Why don't I know what I like from what I don't like? Why don't I know why I don't like that person, the way the person look at me, why I hate that person? Some people use hate people. I'm telling you, some people hate certain things and use the word hate. Hate's a strong word, because hate can lead to a lot of stuff. But some persons hate certain things and don't know why they hate certain things. And so we need to look into ourselves and find out what happened while we're afraid to be with ourselves. Why are we afraid to be alone? Why are we afraid to be isolated? Why are we afraid to speak up? Why are we afraid to advocate for others? Why are we afraid to tell others how we feel? Why are we afraid of getting certain things that we think we need? Why are we afraid to spend on ourselves because we think that we are not worthy to get these things? Why? We need to examine all these why questions and come up with the answer. And you know what I realize is that when we are traumatized, we hurt ourselves from that trauma. Somebody caused trauma to our lives. Somebody caused trauma to our lives, and we beat up ourselves from that trauma. We said, if I didn't do this, that wouldn't happen. If I had not stayed, that wouldn't happen. If I had gone, that wouldn't happen. If I had told someone, that wouldn't happen. The if, what if? What if I have done this? What if I had did that? What if I had taken my brother to the doctor? He wouldn't die. What if I had said no to go into such place? I wouldn't meet in the accident. What if? This what if question damage our lives. Because the person who caused us the trauma, they're not even thinking about no what if. They're thinking it's already done. It's already done, and they move on. And they are the one who caused the trauma. So you are what ifing, because you're the one that is hurting, of course. But why are you what ifing? Because it's not your fault. It wasn't your fault to be at that stoplight when that car came around, because the car that came around, you were not driving that car. It wasn't your fault to be at a certain place when those robbers came about. You did not tell them to hurt you. So the what if just prolong the trauma. The what if just prolong you not wanting to look into yourself and knowing who you are. The what if just prolong you not wanting to be in a relationship with yourself because you're afraid to see what is there. You dislike what is there. You dislike the thought of it. You dislike what you will see. And you dislike what it will turn out to be. You dislike what people will see if you go have a relationship with yourself. And so that in itself shouldn't happen though. Because you have a responsibility to yourself. Because you cannot tell anyone else how you feel if you don't know yourself. Because you can't say you feel sadness if you don't know what you're sad about. So if somebody, God forbid, have a death, and you go to the person and said, I am sad for you. How the heaven do you know that you're sad for the person? How can you analyze that sadness if you don't know yourself to know, are you really sad? Do you really know when you're sad? Do you really know if you are really compassionate about that person or towards that person? When you don't know the different emotions that you might be feeling inside? Do you really know if you are using the right words in certain concept and in certain conversation? If you don't really know what's going on? I can really say I love my dog. Softy, I love you. Yes, I love you. Because I know what love is. I have examined myself. I know who I am. I know what is there. And I'm not scared to know what is there. I'm not scared of my trauma. Because whatever trauma, I can never say it. I probably have to find it in the Bible somewhere. I think when Adam and Eve sinned, I'm going to just throw something out there. When Adam and Eve sinned, I think God came into the garden and asked, why are you hiding? And they said, because I'm naked. Or one, I think Adam said, because I'm naked. And God said, how do you know that you were naked? That was the question that God asked. How do you know that you're naked? And from that situation, a curse was put on them where the man would work. I cannot remember. I've read this so many times, but I can't remember word for word. A curse was put on them where the man should work, and a serpent will bite the heel of the man, and the woman will have pain. Something like that, people. Pastors, please do not bash me. Pastor Clifton Rutty, please do not bash me on your radio station because I don't remember Adam and Eve. The point I am making is that there is no one in this earth, unless they die when they at birth, God forbid, that will not go through traumatic events during the period and the continuum of their life from birth until death, unless as I said, you die early. There is no one that is not going to go through trauma, because the moment you were born, from that warmness in the stomach and come out in the world, you are going to feel a trauma of cold. We are going to take a break, and when we come back, we will continue. Let's take a break. Welcome back, everyone. This is Impact Gospel Radio. We are going FM soon, and the program is Mental Health, a Holistic Impact. Remember that we are having group therapy October the 17th at 7 p.m. and it's $29.99 per person, minimum 10 people, maximum 50 people get this this discount. The discount is because that we know that we are just getting over COVID, and some persons had been significantly affected financially from the COVID and lost a lot, and so it's hard for them to pay a lot of money to have their mental health in check, and so this is a discount for now. We have a lot more. We have more spaces available, and so book your space. It's filling up fast. Book your space. It's gonna be awesome. We're gonna have a good time, a great time. We're gonna have entertainment, therapy, name it. It's gonna be good. So book your seat. You can go to info@mentalhealthhorizon.com to book your spot. I think there's a spot on mentalhealthhorizon.com as well for appointments. So do that. I as a licensed certified psychotherapist talk about things that affect our mental health, anything, relationship, object, concept, anything. And so that's one way of coming to you, because you know what, when people are in the best mental health possible, they succeed more, they do a lot, they are more happier, things work for them because of the positivity that comes from adequate mental health. And that's what everyone should strive for. I was talking that from the moment the child is born and coming to the world, meeting the cold, the outside temperature, they start crying. They cry for many reasons. They cry because the doctor wants them to cry to ensure that their lungs are working and that they are alive. But apart from that, they get cold easily, and they have to get used to things around the house, such as having a bath, having food, being tickled, being played with, and all this. So their trauma starts from the time they were born. And people might say others go through trauma, or others might never go through trauma. Nothing like that. People go through trauma, but they know how to use their coping mechanism to fix their trauma. Others go through trauma where they don't have a clue what to do. They don't have the resiliency to navigate through that trauma, and so they become so traumatized that their mental health become affected, and so they can't find it in themselves to love themselves and be in a relationship with themselves because of what happened in their lives. So let me ask this question: why you are traumatized and other people might go through the same thing as you and not be so traumatized as you? And people are people. Sorry, the same heart you have is the same heart I might have. Whatever is going on in your neck of the wood might have happened in my neck of the wood. But why should I build my resilience and get over that trauma, and you over that side wallowing? I don't even want to use that word. Or having a pity party and hurting yourself because of what happened. You're hurting yourself. Someone hurt you and you continue to hurt yourself. Or someone hurt you and you continue to hurt someone else. Or someone hurt you, you hurt yourself and hurt someone else. The big equation. I should write a formula for mental health. I think I'm going to work on a formula for mental health, just like how I'm working on my dictionary. People, I love being here with you guys. I just love having conversation with you. I know you might look at me and say what Charmaine is doing, whatever. And as I said before, this podcast is not for persons who are having a pity party. This podcast is not for people who curse themselves out. This podcast is not for people who drag themselves down. This podcast is not for people who are negative and try to affect other people with their negativity. That's not what this podcast is about. This podcast is about people who know in themselves that something is wrong, and they in themselves want to fix that thing. This podcast is about people who know that they need to be whole, and they are willing to make the step in being whole. This podcast is for those people who want to continue in their wholeness until whenever. That's what this podcast is about. And so if someone invites you to come here and you are watching and you are still wallowing in self-pity, this is not the place for you. And if you're going to leave comment and say, Charmaine, whatever, go ahead. But honestly, this is not the place for you. Because you know what? Misery like company. When I work, what I realize when I work is I might have a client who don't like themselves and just screaming and just all of a sudden that person is in pain and somatic pain. And I'm talking about somatic pain. And the other person beside just start acting like this individual. Just start taking on their characteristics. Just start taking their attitude. They are feeding off each other. Misery like company. And so if your life is not good, if your life is unhappy, you drag people into your unhappiness. Listen, I don't say you shouldn't talk to someone when you're unhappy. That's not what I'm saying. If you know that you're unhappy and you want to fix the unhappiness, yes, go ahead and talk to someone. But if you know in your heart that you're unhappy and you want to stay unhappy and drag other people in your unhappiness because you want to see other people's life become miserable, this podcast is not for you. I'm sorry to say. This podcast is for a person. You know, I'm going to talk to you now. You know, when you're in a teaching group or a learning group, there's this process, a learning process that they throw out, and they analyze where you are in the learning continuum, and if you do not and are not willing to help yourself, then they just don't focus on you until you're ready. We're going to take a break, and when we come back, we continue with our relationship with ourselves. Welcome back, everyone. I am Charmaine Brown, and this is Impact Gospel Radio. We're in the studio. It's getting cold outside. It was 18 degrees centigrade. And my husband was saying to me, it's a lovely weather. And I was like, what? What? Like, really? No, it's not lovely. And guess what? He was walking outside, well, he partially naked, because the weather is great. 18 degree, people. 18 degree. All right. We are in the studio, and we will be in the studio until next year. Next year, June, July. Because outside is getting cold. This is Impact Gospel Radio. The program is Mental Health, a holistic impact. It's every Monday, 6:30 Central Daytime, 7:30 Eastern Daytime. I am Charmaine Brown, and I am a psychotherapist, a licensed certified psychotherapist, and my goal is to see everyone mental health is top notch, where they are running the world. There are people out there running the world that is not supposed to be running the world, because their mental health is really bad. I'm sorry. You people know yourself. I'm not throwing any stone, but when you analyze what's going on in the world, there are lots of sick persons out there, mentally ill people, because only mentally ill people can do certain things where they destroy other people's life with the decision that they make. And yeah, you might want to curse me. Go ahead. When should you be in a relationship with yourself? We're talking about being in a relationship with yourself. When should you be in a relationship with yourself? Honestly, it's all the time. You should examine yourself and find what's going on. Separate yourself. Some persons have this this association. I would have to go into my dictionary to give you a simplified this association. All right, enough, Charmaine. Stop laughing. Zip up the laugh. All right, people. There are people who experience disassociation. That's because whatever happened in their life, they disassociate themselves from it. So now they start having bipolar disorder, where multiple personality. That's what I want. They start to have multiple personality, where they leave one personality that got hurt in Mr. John's shop, and then the one that didn't get hurt, they take over to Miss Jane's shop. Alright, studio people, when we take a break again, I'm gonna get all the people in the studio out, because the producer is not even showing you the people in the studio, but they are laughing and they are making me laugh. At the break, producer, we're gonna take all the people out because they are shy to come on camera. They don't want to come on camera, but they are laughing behind the camera. So at the break, we are taking all the people. You all gonna get out, because you are laughing when I'm talking, and you're making me laugh. This is a serious thing, I'm saying. People disassociate themselves because of trauma, right? And have multiple personality because of trauma. Sometimes it can be a mental illness that was diagnosed, and it can be hereditary, right? But I'm talking about getting in the relationship with ourselves where we are scared to see what we see, and so we disassociate ourselves. That's the one I'm looking at. We are afraid to see into ourselves and see what happened and how to get to that place, and so we start having multiple personality. That's what I'm talking about. And so when should we be in a relationship with ourselves? It should be all the time, when we examine ourselves, take all those things that bothers us, look at them, see what we can do, how we can manage, the coping strategies that we can use to deal with ourselves in a loving, caring manner so that we can be with ourselves all the time. And loving yourself is not narcissistic, because if you don't love yourself, you can never love someone else. If you don't know the first step of self-love, you cannot know the second self of loving somebody else. There is a commandment. There's commandment in the Bible that says you love yourself. I think I have to go research that one. You have to love yourself. You love God. You love your neighbor. What it is saying, if you don't love yourself, you cannot love your neighbor. And a neighbor is anyone that you see. It doesn't mean the person that lives beside you. It's anyone that you come in contact with that you have to talk with. That's a neighbor. It's like the Good Samaritan. The Samaritan person wasn't, it was anyone that the person see and help. That's a Samaritan. So you being a good Samaritan is you helping anyone you see, not only your neighbor and the house, the side of the house. No. And so what I'm saying is, when you're supposed to love yourself, you're supposed to love yourself all the time. You should find yourself in that place where you can look at yourself in a self-love manner. You look at yourself, you view the trauma, or view the event, or whatever the situation, view it, and come to terms with it, so that you can love yourself, so that you can be in a relationship with yourself, because it's vital to be in a relationship with yourself. And you're asking, why should I? You need that connection to yourself. You need that connection to your soul. You are more than a person. You're more than what we're looking at. You can see that I am a person, I am a woman, I am a dark-skinned person, or whatever you are seeing. But you are more than what people see. You are far more. It goes deep. Are you compassionate? Can you advocate for someone who you love? Do you feel sad when something happened that is bad? Do you feel happy when something happened that is good? That's what make up the whole you. You are more than the sum of what you see. We are going to take a break, and when we come back, we will continue this conversation. Let's take a break. Welcome back, everyone. This is Charmaine Brown, and I am blessed to be here with you in the studio Impact Gospel Radio. Go get in touch with the radio site, because there's lots of resources that is there for community members of all age. mentalhealthhorizon.com, www.mentalhealthhorizon.com. Go, there's a lot of resources over there as well. info@mentalhealthhorizon.com. Get in touch with us, join the group therapy, get what you need out of it. It's to build you up, nothing to take away from you, but to build you up. When you validate yourself with other people that is in the group, you realize that you're not alone. People are having issues as well, and it's for people who are single, couple, married people, divorced people, just everything that might come up there. It's going to be there. It's just $29.99 per person. October the 17th, minimum 10 people, maximum 50 people. The maximum amount of people who can get this discount is 50 people. Book your seat. It's filling in fast enough, and so we have sent the people them out of the studio because they were laughing when I was talking, and make it seem like I am laughing at people who are disconnected from themselves. We are talking about relocation, not relocation. I'm talking about relationship with yourself. We need to be in a relationship with ourselves, and being in a relationship with ourselves meaning we need to connect to ourselves. The topic is not finished. There is some more that I need to talk about, but it cannot be talked. We cannot talk about being in a relationship with ourselves in one sitting. It will take more sitting than one. The connection that we need to feel, we examining ourselves and try to see what hurt, where it hurt, instead of hiding that hurt, and instead of diverting that hurt to someone else. We need to deal with ourselves. We also need to look on the reason where we should be in a relationship with ourselves, and the impact that it has on ourselves and others around us, because if we don't love ourselves, we cannot love other people. Furthermore, it is in the commandment. There's a commandment. You can go research it. I don't think as a psychotherapist I should research everything. I do come with research-based information, but you have a responsibility to go research things for yourself. As I said, people who are lazy, I am not doing the podcast for you. I'm doing the podcast for people who want to work on themselves. I am doing the podcast for people who want to do the research, who want to examine themselves, who want to move from that spot where they are, that negative spot where they are, that spot where they hate themselves, and move on to something next, something where they can enjoy their lives. We want to move from negative to positive. We want to move from people who will drag other people in their misery. This podcast is for people who want wholeness and continue with their wholeness. Join us every Monday evening at 6:30 Central Daytime, 7:30 Eastern Daytime. This is Impact Gospel Radio, Mental Health and Holistic Impact. We are on Tumblr, Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, LinkedIn, Instagram. Search for us, like, share, and follow us. We are signing off.
Impact Gospel Radio and Mental Health Horizon. All information posted or aired is merely for educational purposes and is not a substitute for seeking further professional advice. While the information aired has been verified to the best of our abilities, we cannot guarantee there are no mistakes or errors. We reserve the right to change this policy at any time. If you want to stay up to date with the latest mental health information, please visit our website at www.mentalhealthhorizon.com, book an appointment at info@mentalhealthhorizon.com, or tune into the broadcast every Monday evening at 6:30 p.m. Central Daylight Time.